Hello, hello. I'm playing a little music from YouTube, just lo-fi hip hop mix. I'm gonna find a bit of music if it doesn't record. You never tell until afterward. Um, I have no plan today. I felt like being real was super important. Um, I'm having a little hard time. So I'd like to bring in some somatic movement, which yoga is a somatic movement. It is a somatic means to basically let your body lead and let yourself just flow with whatever comes to you. And sometimes yoga is not somatic, such as structured, very highly structured yoga, which is also very useful in a lot of ways. Somatic is up to you. I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know exactly what you need. You don't know exactly what I need, but we do our best to meet as a community and meet in between that space and share that space. Yoga is also not lollipops and good vibes all the time or at all. There's a lot of toxic positivity out there in the world that's not very helpful. To deny ourselves something so grand that we get to experience. So, in that, let's get on the mat before I lose it a little more. And we're gonna move. And we're gonna see if we can shift and find comparison and joy, and find the yin and the yang, and find the middle part. The bad that makes the good so good. The struggle that makes the joy so clear. So to begin, I'd love to be standing. So I know we don't do that often. Just make this screen bigger so that I can make sure I'm in view for you. So just standing a distance apart with your feet, just not together. So any distance, far, wide, narrow, leave a little room. And we're just gonna start by swaying. So if you've gone past in some of my past classes, we did this really nice self-regulation class where we used different kinds of somatic movement and also just different out-of-the-box ways to shift your body and to engage with your fight or flights and your freezes. So maybe you start to sway your arms as you sway back and forth. Sorry for my sniffling. Just let yourself move and find a little bit of grace, a little bit of softness. Whatever feels good. Maybe you close your eyes if you feel a little self-conscious. And breathe, move and breathe. Then settling in the center, feet as wide as you like. Bring your palms to face up, your arms down long in front of your pelvis, I guess, or your belly button, like you're holding something in your hands. And just pressing your arms down as long as they'll go. So letting your shoulders compress, aiming the backs of your hands down toward the ground, still kind of resting them in each other. And as if you're holding the most precious thing in the world, start to lift it up. So you're bending your elbows and you're keeping it quite close to your body. And up and up. And then you can start to raise your hands so your elbows might need to change shape, your wrists might need to pivot or rotate, and then just press your hands up. I just have my hands up like this in case you can't see. And then exhale with your palms outward, sweeping the air by the sides of your body. Turn your palms in, then out. So you're rotating your palms upward, scooping the air up. And then as if you're holding a little baskety thing, you're bringing it back down to you, this precious, precious thing. So you've just overlapped your hands on each other. You're staying quite close to the body, And you're sweeping this precious thing down your whole body. We'll hinge at the hips and just see how far you can hinge. Soften the knees at any point. You're going to push this thing all the way down to the earth. Squat if you need to. Press your hands down. Secure and plant that seed of wonderful. We'll stay here for a little while. You can turn your toes out. You can squat down. You can come down farther. So you can bring your tailbone or your hips between your heels. Your heels could be lifted or planted. And then the hands can come to heart, the elbows snuggled in between your thighs, or your hands parked on the ground in a more lifted squat, giving yourself some support. So we can close our eyes. And if we have the squatted position quite low, we don't need to push into our legs with our arms. We're kind of pressing out with our feet and letting our tailbone point down to the ground, drawing the heart upward. There's a lot of muscular effort in the squat. We'll just stay here for 5 more breaths, only 5 breaths. Let's just give ourselves this time of challenge right after we've planted that seed. And 3 more breaths, nice and long and deep. Just because something is challenging, we need to shorten the time we're there. So there's something to be learned in this moment, something to be felt, something new, something that we avoid maybe as well. 1 more breath in and out. And bringing the hands down, scooting your bum upward, straightening up the legs and folding over the legs. You can point your toes more forward. You can let your torso be heavy. You can soften your knees. Let the head go, the neck, the shoulders and arms. You'll inhale to a half lift, so you might place your palms below your knees, straightening the arms out, extending the spine nice and long, parallel to the ground. Trying to lift, we'll stay here for a couple of breaths, lifting, lengthening the rib cage away from the hips. Can we gain a little space there? And then you might track your gaze across the ground and look a little bit forward. Stretch into the upper back. Another inhale as you feel long, and exhale as you fold over, softening. And then inhale to roll up, so just soften the knees and push through the feet. You don't have to do anything else with any other part of the body. Let your chin fall to your chest. Your shoulders cave forward. Your legs are helping you grow up and straight and tall. Chest opens, palms face forward. Just take a big breath as you open up the chest. Inhale to reach your arms up alongside your ears. Exhale, hands to touch and folding over your legs. Inhale, a half lift. Your hands can be below the knees, palms, or fingertips can be on the ground. You kind of tug the earth towards your feet. Pull and lengthen your spine. And exhale when you're ready to fold over. Bending into your left knee quite a lot so that you can place your left hand or your left palm on the ground. Maybe a book or a block or something is helpful. And then we're just going to take our right fingertips and drag them up the left arm, up the inside of the left arm, pivoting the chest to the right. And then dragging those fingertips across your chest, up your shoulder, and then extending upward, bending into that left knee. Seeing if we can lengthen out the right leg. And maybe if you have a good grip with your left hand, you can push down and away yourself, so to the left. Open up a little more. 3 breaths here. You could look up or look down or look to the side. I'm looking out across a dormant field that is usually corn or soy. So it's all laying down, decomposing, baking in the sun. It's been really sunny. One nice saving grace sometimes when you're feeling blue. And then exhale, bend your right elbow, drag your hand back down, just planting it gently, straightening your left knee. Then bending your right knee a lot, attempting to keep our left leg straight. And then your left fingertips tickle and drag up the inside of your right arm, across your chest. Try to touch every little bit of yourself before you unfurl that arm and reach up toward the sky. Look wherever you like to, check on your neck. Use your fingertips or palm or grip to push toward the right, peeling open a little more. Three more breaths, feeling the length of your spine. So we're also always reaching long as much as we can, even if we're in a twisted up shape. It's kind of a neat little metaphor. It just didn't really, that landed just now. You feel twisted up. Try to find length and space. One more breath in. Exhale, bending the left elbow, dragging down, finding your fingers, straightening the right knee or bending both. Softening your entire upper body, bend your knees and just push through your feet. All you need to do, keep pushing through your feet and watch yourself grow. Little by little, taller and taller, palms face forward, chest opens. Inhale, reaching the arms up. We're gonna grab hold of our right wrist with our left thumb and pointer finger just around the wrist, pulling up and then hinging over toward the left. So keep tugging. So again, we can feel long. I guess I can move back a little bit so you can see my hands. So reaching, 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 and continuing to find length before you bend. Couple more breaths, reaching, tugging, tugging. Let your hand relax as you tug your arm. Next, inhale, bring yourself all the way back up and switch. So your right hand, your right fingers are gonna wrap around your left wrist. You're gonna reach all the way up toward the sky just with your right hand. So let your left arm relax. I know it's hard to do. And then start to hinge over toward the right. Length, so keep tugging. Use a lot of effort with your tugging arm. And then hinge. Maybe one more. And inhale, coming back up, releasing the arms gently, floating them down. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. Backward, down, and forward. Just gonna make sure we keep an eye on our time. Make sure I keep an eye on our time. Have a sip of your water if you need, your tea if you need. This is also the realness of yoga. Rolling the other direction. Sometimes I feel like I'm on a mission to pull away some of this performative acts of practice. Setting up the perfect space with all the perfect things. Instead, just being you, wearing the things you've worn all day, in the bun that you put up this morning, with the feelings you have right now. Squeeze the shoulders up toward the ears. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, squeeze, and then let them drop on your exhale. A couple more times. Inhale, squeeze. Shorten your neck. Let them go. One more. Then exhale. Beautiful. So wherever you're at, stepping your left foot back, planting your left foot on an angle, bending the right knee so it tracks over top of the right ankle. Finding your hips, pivoting your torso, your front body, and your hips forward. So if you need to turn that back foot, adjust the heel, walk the front foot out a little wider, find the space you need to encourage your torso, your hips, the front body to turn. Your whole torso is the back as well. And then try to push onto the outer edge of your back foot to straighten up. You're gonna feel maybe a lot of energy down from the top quad, or the only quad, down into that heel. Notice if your glute wants to get involved here too. We're just going to place one hand on the heart, the other hand on the belly, just to encourage the twist. Widen your stance if you want. Wiggle the feet away from each other on train tracks. I'm feeling a stretch across the left hip. There's a lot going on already. We don't need to add more. Doing the good work. Digging in. You don't have to keep adding more tasks, more things, more busyness. 3 more breaths. Feeling warm in that front leg. Maybe push your feet away from each other using the grip of the ground. Push 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. 1 more. Nice, good breath. Then you can reach your arms up on your inhale when you're ready. Exhale to warrior 2. So we'll turn the left heel inward and hop that foot back so that our heels are somewhat in line with each other, or your front heel is in line with the arch of your back foot. And then sinking into that front leg so the knee is roughly over the ankle. It's okay to go a little bit beyond, but just feeling and noticing the shape of these side body positions, of these standing shapes like our triangles. There's a divinity to the shapes sometimes. So what we're going to do too with the front leg is try to kind of wiggle your heel inward. So we're encouraging that thigh to really open. So just notice if your knee wants to fall inward, you move that heel a little bit. It will encourage everything to really open. And a lot of the time in a warrior 2, I see the drawing forward. We're not doing that. Our torso, our shoulders are over our hips and our arms at shoulder height, strong. We're drawing the left shoulder back just slightly so that we can look over the right middle finger. But when we twist into the neck, our shoulder doesn't come with us. It draws back and we have this huge long line across the chest, this purposeful shape. So you can sink deeper into the knee, just bending the knee, and the shoulders can still stay over the hips. And 1 more breath to really feel it. Push your front foot forward, your back foot back. Feel strong here, warm here. And then start to straighten the front leg, pushing the foot away from you to do so. Turn your front palm up. Now we reach forward, as far forward into the future as possible, sending your left hip back. So we're finding length. And you might even use your top arm to reach in that direction as well to really feel what we're trying to achieve here. And then drop your right hand right on top of your calf. So let's just hug that calf. And then reach that hand, the top hand, forward over your ear. And then the fingertips and the arm point up toward the sky. So we have this wonderful triangular shape, a couple triangles going on here. And you can sink down if you like, but not necessary. And open up the chest, let your left shoulder, kind of sink down, melt down your back body. You look up towards your thumb, into the neck. As we just looked the other way in our other shape. And to get out of the shape, firm in your feet, reach your top fingertips up toward the sky, straight up. So just let yourself be tugged upward. And then bend your front knee and come back to warrior 2. Another big breath. I'm going to pivot the back foot so we come up on the ball of the foot. Sweep your left arm down and forward, both arms up. So you're coming into this lunge, hop into it as needed, find the balance. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down, fold over your front leg. Find your hands on the ground, hop your front foot back to meet your left foot, your right foot to meet your left foot, coming into downward dog. Maybe you take the dog for just a little sway, a little walk, a little wiggle. Noticing your right leg and your left leg, your right arm and your left arm. Look between, I'm trying not to because of the microphone, but look between your feet if you can, or look towards your belly button. Pull your hands apart to firm up your shoulders. We don't sink too much in the chest. We don't need to cave in. Our shoulder blades do not need to touch here or come together or squeeze together. And then come forward into plank. The knees can come down if you want them to. Push yourself forward if your knees are lifted, and bend your elbows alongside your torso to lower down. Land the top of your feet, push into the tops of your toes. Push all your toes in toward the ground, like you're kind of tugging it toward you. You're scooping it in. And then pull your hands as you press them down toward your feet. Lengthen, bring the heart forward, the chin. Still do your toes. Press your toes down, kind of pull them toward you. And then exhale to come down low. Tuck your toes under. We'll come through the knees. Opening up the knees wide, untucking the toes. Untucking the toes first, then opening the knees wide and settling into this compressed shape, this child's pose shape. It's not super comfy for everyone, so we'll just stay here for like 2 breaths. Just a little thank you to the earth. Bow down. Your next inhale, start to come back up onto the heels. You can bring your knees together. You can let your heels fall outward. You can sit on the insides of your feet if that's more comfy, or have your heels pointed directly up and kind of snuggled under your sits bones. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands touch and come down to the front of your chest. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, twisting to the left. Your right hand will come to the outside of your left leg or your left hip or the thigh, then reaching the left arm behind you. Maybe look in that direction or forward or to the side. Another way to open up the heart space. Chest, pectorals, armpit, your intercostals, collarbone, lots of things. Your traps. And then we'll sweep this arm down. The back arm will come down. And then inhale, both arms come up as we pivot the chest forward. And then exhale over to the left. Right, over to the right, sorry. Do that at least once. The right hand to the outside of the left hand on the outside of the right leg. Oh my gosh. And then reaching the right arm behind you. Oh, the charm. And then we look in any direction that feels interesting and useful for your body, for your mind. One more, listing all of those pieces of our muscles and anatomy in your mind. And then as you exhale, sweep your back arm down. Inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, fold over. You might come onto your forearms and let your head hang. You might bring your head all the way down. You might support it under your fists. And reaching your fingertips as far forward as you possibly can. Lifting your hips up off your heels, tuck your toes, and send your hips up to the sky, pressing your hands forward, reaching your arms really long, and take your hands and feet nice and wide. Press, continue to press your hands forward, lifting your hips up. It's so easy to forget, and the weight will load into your shoulders. You'll start to just feel it into there, and you can almost come into like a plank position. Continue to press the weight of your body back. And then look between your thumbs, hop, jump, or step forward into a fold. Release the torso over your legs. Inhale, half lift. Didn't realize the wall was that close. Exhale, folding over. And then inhale to roll up. Just press through your feet. The head comes up last. Open the shoulders, the palms forward. And stepping back with your right foot. Turning your right foot out on an angle. Hands to the hips or hugging the sides of your hips. Start to turn your pelvis and the front of your torso forward. Notice if you would like to adjust your feet. You can make them wider away from each other. Turning as much as you can, feeling a good stretch across your right hip. Bending that front knee over the ankle. Maybe you push your feet away from each other to feel your glute engage a little bit. Push into the outer edge of that back foot. Yet again, reminder to do that. Feeling the energy down through the quad, the top of the leg, top of the knee, and down. And then hands come onto the body, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And we're strong here, just looking forward, relaxing the shoulders. The legs are powerful, strong foundation. And just a few more ins and outs. And close your eyes, or maybe you look at something as a focus point. And it's one more breath for us here. And then we'll turn this into a warrior two, so you can reach the arms up if you'd like to. And then hop your back foot to the left, turn the toes out, and open up the arms to shoulder height. So paying attention to that front knee, if it's falling inward, we maybe hop the ankle or the heel inward, so the toes are outward. We're just encouraging that open thigh and open hip. Hands toward the hips to notice where you're at. Facing the front of the body toward the side. Shoulders over top of the hips. So we can look over our left middle finger and draw the right shoulder back a little bit. Take some breath. Letting your shoulders relax down your back. One more breath. Then straightening your front leg out by pushing your foot away from you. Now we turn our front palm up and we can reach really far forward, sending your right hips back, right hip side, and your left is folding forward. Maybe your top arm reaches forward as well, so you can notice and feel. What we're trying to notice and feel is length. Dropping the left arm down, and you can just grab hold of your calf, part of your leg, or if we're higher up, you can hold on to the, what I would do is maybe put the hand on the inside of the thigh and reach the arm up. So our top arm is going to point, fingertips point toward the sky, and let yourself soften down. You might find after you get into the pose a little bit, your body starts to give in and surrender a little bit and open a little bit for you. So your right shoulder kind of melts down the back body. And then our next inhale, our top fingertips are being tugged up toward the sky, so we just let ourselves be tugged up. Arms at shoulder height, bend the front knee. We're going to turn it into a lunge, so pay attention to your back foot. Hop up on the ball of your foot and scoot your foot to the side. Reach your arms up toward the sky. Find this lunge. Looking forward, inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands all the way down. Plant yourself down. And stepping your back foot forward to the outside of your right hand. Your left hand on the inside of your left leg. We can fall forward. We can bend into the knees and squat down just as far as your body wants to or doesn't want to. Each and any expression is beautiful and interesting and perhaps challenging too. One more. Placing your fingers on the ground, straightening up your legs, folding forward, point your toes forward. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale to fold over. Bend your knees a lot so you can plant your hands and step onto your knees. So back into all fours. Plant your foot, bend your knee. Your wrists under your shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, the tail comes up, the belly drops. Pull your hands toward your knees to open the chest forward, and then lift and lengthen through the neck. Looking forward maybe. And then scooping just your tail in, your belly in, your mid back, your upper back. Push your hands forward to control this motion. The head comes down last. And just a couple more. Feeling all the hugs and stretches, openings and snuggles. If you can hear my music, there's a little bit of a Christmas tune, it seems like, which I kind of like. Bringing your left knee, your right knee. Let's bring our right knee forward so that we can sit on our right hip and turn ourselves to face the wide length of our mat. Legs can come out. Our right knee will be bent and the right foot can come into the inside of the left leg somewhere. Just flex a little bit into that left heel so you have a little parking point for that leg to feel just a little point of balance and security and support. We're just going to look forward and take the inhale, reaching your arms up. And exhale, keep your right arm up and lower your left arm down. So the back of your hand on the inside of your left leg. Reaching up with the right hand, feel length again. You're going to push into the back of the left hand so you can twist yourself a little bit to the right, a little or a lot. And then maybe you slide the back of your left hand down the inside of your left leg. And finding a point that feels pretty good in your right hip. Feels useful and kind and interesting and challenging. All those good things. And then your hand can grab hold of your leg wherever it is. So maybe it is on the outside of your foot, the inside, the ankle. And then just continue to bring your right arm alongside your right ear, reaching toward your left foot. Opening up the chest forward, reaching, kind of rolling your right shoulder back. It's the closest I've ever been to my foot in this position. And then reach on up, lifting using your side body and torso. Lower your right hand, plant your hand, reach your left arm up alongside your ear, and then hinge yourself over by pushing down through your right hand and pushing it away from your right hip. So reaching the left arm over the ear, over the head, reaching it long. So we have this beautiful anchor in our ankle. So we can reach. Inhale, push into your right hand to come back up. Both arms come up, so nice and spicy. Palms to touch and coming down to the heart center. Palms come forward. We're going to fold. So folding between the legs, reaching your hands, touching them wherever it needs to be, wherever they need to be to support you. So maybe you come down on your forearms. Maybe you reach your arms out long just to get a little lower and stretch out bits of your upper rib cage. Just another big breath, reaching, folding, hinging, however you want to call it. And then we'll reach or walk our hands up toward our bodies, lifting the torso up. We'll pivot ourselves to face the extended legs. To face the left leg, arms can come up. So we can find length and then fold over the left leg. And your hands can be anywhere. We're hinging. we're kind of tucking. Maybe you can gather some of the softest part of your front body in toward yourself, using a little bit of effort to do so, so that you can fold. You can fold from your waist. You don't have to hyper focus on your hips. They're already doing a lot of things in this shape. The head can come down, the nose can come toward the knee. Feel that lower, the side waist, stretch, side rib cage. And then we'll slide up the leg with our hands. Lean back a little bit to draw your right knee toward yourself. Then you can swing it out, bringing the left knee to bend and left foot in, and extending the right leg out. Give yourself a nice soft transition to such a stretch. Facing forward, torso long. Inhale, reach the arms up. Keep your left arm up, right arm comes down. Anchor into your right heel, the back of the right hand on the inside of the right leg. Pressing gently into it so that we can pivot our torso or twist ourselves to the left, little or lot. And then maybe you begin to slide the back of your hand down the leg. Then once you find a spot to be, you can start to reach your left arm over top of your left ear. So you might grab hold of an ankle, a foot, a strap, something. Continue to open up the chest toward the front. Spinning open the shoulder, staying away from that kind of rounding idea. One more breath. And inhale, reaching up, arms come up. Lowering the left hand down, planting the hand, bending the elbow. Reach the right arm up really high first, and then hinge over to the left. So you're pushing the left hand away from your body, away from your hip. And reaching the right arm alongside the right ear. One more, inhale, exhale. Inhale, push into your left hand, reach both arms up, and then exhale, folding over. So hands can come through the heart, or you can just plant your fingers down. We're gonna fold forward. So you could walk your hands out, involve your arms and shoulders, you can bring your elbows in. You could use a prop. A little time to settle the body, anchoring into your right heel just for a little touch point, little support. And folding, rounding, whatever feels interesting. New, different. Let's venture outside the lines. And then start to walk yourself back up. Inhale to reach your arms up. Pivoting everything to face the extended leg, and then folding over your right leg. So again, land those hands wherever they want to be. Nose toward the knee. Just folding over your thigh. Maybe you use some abdominal muscular effort by just pulling. I kind of imagine, when, I don't know if you've ever been in this scenario or if I have, but someone trying to like poke you with their finger and you kind of just move your body away from that space. Or if a porcupine was right near you and you kind of went, ugh, just trying to make some space for it. Just see if you can use some of that power and then get into that space. One more. Big in, big out. And let your hands drag up your leg when you're ready to come out. And then grabbing hold of your left knee to bend it in so that you can lean back a little. And then it might be easier to bend the right knee and come into a staggered leg or seated shape. You might put something under your hips a little bit just to sit on something, or it might feel pretty comfy after all that stretching out. Close your eyes if you want to. Rest your hands on your knees or your lap. Let your shoulders recede away from your ears. And feel yourself stacking and balancing so that you can more easily sit this way. This is Sukhasana. It's called easy pose, but it's not always. We'll stay for 3 more meditative breaths, still, present, mindful. Be here now. With our hands parked on the ends of the knees, if they aren't, placing the palms there and the fingertips dangle down your knees. Inhale to drag your wrists or your palms toward the crease of your hips and kind of pushing down with the hands once you get there, squeezing the elbows and the shoulder blades back behind you, lifting the heart forward. So push down, you're kind of opening up your thigh muscles, kind of peeling them away from the center and out. This, if I was physically with you, this would be this kind of Thai massage rotation, like tugging of the muscles. So you can grab and push away and down, reaching the heart up. And then exhale, sliding your hands back to the ends of your knees, rounding your spine, tucking your chin to chest. So we'll do this a few times. Inhale, dragging your wrists, your palms toward the crease of your hips. Press down and away from the center. Pull the flesh of your body away. Squeeze your elbows and shoulder blades together. We'll take a couple of breaths, big inhales through the chest. When you're ready to exhale, whenever it happens, round yourself, slide the hands down your legs, tuck your chin. Maybe take another moment here and inhale through your back body. And then when you're ready to inhale or exhale, find different positions. We'll push down and away, peeling open that flesh, reaching the heart, squeezing all of your back body. While you lift, and then exhale around. Staying in our rounding shape, let your head hang. You might sway a little bit. Let your arms relax. We'll start to circle the torso. So we're just going to stir the body on top of our glutes. So on our sits bones, and we just stir. Let our bones, muscles move around. The water in our body is just moving in one direction. Enjoying maybe that softness of your bum as you lean back a little bit, feeling that built-in cushion. And then we'll go in the other direction when it feels natural to do so. We'll just continue to stir the body. The hands can stay on the knees. You can kind of hold on to them if that's helpful. Just being as soft as you possibly can, just stirring the pot. And just a couple more circles. And settling back into the center, bringing the soles of the feet to touch, so opening the knees a little bit more. The heels can be close to your groin, or they can be farther away in more of a diamond shape. Just hold onto the ankles or interlace the fingers to the ends of the toes if your arms are really long. If you can still sit up straight, with them that long. If you need the ankles just to kind of draw yourself back, you can. So we'll take our heart open again. You're going to pull those ankles or feet toward you. And then round yourself completely. So let yourself fold all the way in. The hands can kind of tuck into you or walk out of you. If your heels are far away, you might even venture your hands underneath your legs maybe. So you might push into the outer edges of your feet, lift your knees, and slide your hands and arms down underneath into the crook of your knee pit. And then folding the head down. Coming into this tortoise shape, if you like. And let your neck hang wherever you are, whichever shape you chose. The tortoise kind of doesn't really allow for movement. But if you're in the butterfly, or your hands are on the outside, feel free to wiggle or move a little if that calls to you. Remembering that in each yoga class, not just mine, but every yoga class you ever visit, you can do whatever you want to do, whatever you need to do. You don't have to ask permission. There's no expectation. And if it feels that way, then maybe try a different yoga class or a different instructor or guide. Because it should feel welcome and free and spacious. You should be able to feel like you can be yourself. Be in your truth. So the next breath, if we're in this tortoise pose, so if our arms are kind of pinned, I advise you to push into the outsides of your feet to try to lift your knees a little bit, and then wiggle your arms back out, maybe one at a time. You just want a little elevation in the thighs so you can snuggle yourself out. If we're in the butterfly, we're just going to bring the torso up. And then we'll go ahead and swing the legs to one side, whichever side you want. We'll scoot the bum down about halfway down your mat, and then start to extend one leg, extend the other, and lower your torso, your whole body, all of it, down onto the ground. Opening up your palms, rolling your thumbs away, letting your feet fall away, checking on the lower back. So you might kind of surf on your sacrum a little bit and just kind of wiggle across your flesh. And you might even point your toes up to the ground, anchor your heels, and then paddle your feet back and forth. So if you can find a little grip on your heels, you can kind of wiggle and surf your body across your skin and outer flesh. Just kind of let yourself kind of wiggle it around, soften. Swipe your feet side to side. So coming into a final shape that feels really good. So you might be called to lay on your stomach. You might be called to lay on your side with a pillow between your knees or under your head or a blanket. Right on your back might just feel so good. It does for me right now to have the legs long. If your lower back is really loud, like it's just kind of, you need to soothe that voice, bend your knees. Untuck your tailbone, let your feet roll away from you, kind of walk away from you, let your knees fall toward each other so that you can create a little tent. This kind of, they call it a constructive rest position. They meaning somebody who brought yoga here and then revamped it and made new names. It's probably just called knees together, asana. See if we can let go of the lower back. If we are choosing that shape, can we let go of the glutes as well? They don't need to be engaged to hold anything. Maybe the arms want to be in a different shape. Just see if you can let yourself be still. Notice your soft rhythm breath. I read this wonderful quote from Thich Nhat Hanh that said, "You are the sky and everything else is the weather." You're the whole sky. we're going to let ourselves melt here, lay here, Shavasana in this corpse pose. And I promise I'll bring you back when it's time to come back. There's no need to think about anything at all. Just let yourself be. You'll probably see me sitting up. Stay where you are, just enjoy. Staying exactly where you landed, resisting all of those little urges to wiggle and to move, and to rush. You still have lots of time, space. Breathe. Let your mind go to your breath. Your first conscious movement, mindful movement is your breath. Pressing your ribs out and in. Your belly, your chest expanding, coming back in toward your center. maybe as this breath deepens and becomes more a part of your consciousness, you can begin to move and notice your body parts. So whatever parts need to wiggle and twitch and move, notice them and feel them. Really be with them as you rock your head maybe side to side, or touch your fingers with your thumb, or make little fists with your hands and your feet, spreading them wide again. You can scoop your knees in toward your chest. You can reach your arms above your head and just reach and stretch. Think about rolling onto one of your sides, using your arm as a pillow and staying there for a collection of breaths. Eventually moving our way into a seated position, elevating the body back up a little bit, finding something to sit on if that's what you need, or staying laying down. That's definitely an option. I invite you to place one of your hands on your belly, one of your hands over your heart. Bend the first knuckles of your fingers a little bit so it feels like a little hug. It's my little hug to you. Close your eyes, take a big breath in through the nose and a big sigh out of the mouth. My heart is at ease, knowing what's meant for me will not pass me by. What passes me by was not meant for me. Inhale, reach the arms up. Big scoop, big circle. Join the hands to touch. And bring your hands somewhere in front of your chest, in front of your heart. Close your eyes again. You bow your head down just a little bit. Give thanks to yourself. Give thanks to those around you, your community, your support. Even if they're silent, they're there. I'm here. Everyone is here for us. Held in that. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, sounds, all the sounds of the universe. Thank you so much. Those of you that practice, maybe those of you that are receiving my messages through osmosis or through another way, through just scrolling in, I've done my best to embed all of my intention into each word that I post describing each class. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time on Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Look up your time zone, because I'm not gonna. I might. Let me know. All right. Till next time.